Good morning. We'll call the meeting to order, and let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and we'll have the roll call, please.
April McLaughlin,
Here.
Neil Brennan. Here. Edith Bramlow.
Here.
Elaine Clyde.
Here.
Ken Jones.
Here.
Lorraine Benefield.
Here.
Justin Strickland.
Here.
Shavonna Reed.
Here.
Maria Lane Ebert.
Here. Hang on one second, I'm looking. Oh, here we go. Okay. And does anyone have any suggestions or changes to the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I
Okay.
noticed that the presentation of the certificates was not included, and also it stated that I had inquired about applying to the lab online, and I had inquired if he was applying to grants online, not the lab. I already know how to apply to the Library Advisory Board.
Okay. Let's take a look. Do you know what section that was under, Elaine? The where you wanted to make the change?
It's right before Ken had been listed for asking if they were federal or state grants.
Okay. Okay, so that should
Page 6,
okay, so Elaine asked if you apply online for
the grants.
grant consideration. Okay, I think we can make that change.
And then also the presentations to several board members of the certificates from the Christian Family Coalition by John Labriola.
Right, and that was not on our agenda. That was an agenda item, so that wouldn't, I don't think that would be included on our minutes, actually. Okay, so we'll make the change where it said, it's on page 6 of 13. Okay, Adam and and Ms. Secretary, did you notate that, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, Elaine.
Thank you.
Will do. All right. Okay, with that change, do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I move to accept the minutes.
All in favor of accepting the minutes?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so approved with the change. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming and for all their work getting here this morning in the dark and the traffic. It is 13 days to Christmas and the 6th day of Hanukkah, so a lot going on. I appreciate it and appreciate everyone that showed up. So now, open to the public. If you would like to speak, we have a green card over here, and you can give that to Taylor. And Debbie will be our timekeeper. And if you have anything that you'd like to say, please come to the podium.
Good morning, John
Good morning.
Labriola. I heard my name mentioned earlier today. So I'm with the Christian Family Coalition, but I also live in Inverness here in Citrus County. And as Elaine mentioned, I was pleased at the last meeting to present certificate, or actually what we call the Pioneer Awards to the board members who voted to cut ties with the ALA, or to recommend to cut ties with the American Library Association. And the reason we call them the Pioneer Awards is because, to our knowledge, this is perhaps the very first and maybe only library advisory board in the state of Florida that took that step to recommend cutting ties with the American Library Association. Some other counties did it administratively through their county administrator. Some did it through their county commissions voting. But this was the very first, to my knowledge, and that Library Advisory Board that took that action. So at the last meeting, I presented some Pioneer Awards to the 3 board members who were here at that meeting, but there were 2 that were missing. So I wanted to present those. Before I do that, I just wanted to let you know that that action that you all took, the reason we call it a Pioneer Award is not only because you were the first, but because it also created a ripple effect across the state of Florida. And since the time that you all voted to do that, not only Citrus County, but also Hernando County, Pasco County, Collier, Lee, Sarasota County, most recently Manatee, and Charlotte just yesterday put out a press release that they're cutting ties with the ALA. In addition to that, that's just that. So that takes us all the way down the Gulf Coast from Citrus, clear down to Collier County. They're all out. Hillsborough and Pinellas, I believe, pulled out prior. And then Lake County was just a couple of weeks ago. They pulled their county commission voted 5-0 to cut ties. And I'm not sure if I'm missing any, but that's about that's right. Yes. So Mike back there, he's from St. Lucie, and St. Lucie also in the last couple of weeks also announced that they will not be renewing membership in the ALA. So I wanted to take this opportunity to thank all the board members again who voted that way, and to also present the 2 remaining certificates to the 2 members who were not here at the last meeting, and that is Justin Strickland and Shavonna Reed. And can I just hand them over to them?
Yes, you may.
If you could include that in the minutes, I think that would be nice to give a recognition, but regardless of your procedures, but if it is some kind of procedural prohibition, then. But thank you again so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's nice to see you all. I just had a couple things I wanted to say. But first of all, I'd like to say that I don't see that recommending we cut ties with the ALA is a commendable position. But I just wanted, my real reason for getting up here is I wanted to let you know I quickly checked out the new online catalog presence yesterday, and it's looking really great. So congrats on that. As a Lakes Region patron, I'm encouraged in the upgrades that are in progress. It's a much needed project, assisted by your past fundraising and your vote. So thank you for that. And I want to thank everybody. It's the end of the year. And thank you all for your service this past year. It's been a difficult time, and I thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
I come as a citizen of Citrus County, not a paid lobbyist. I was taught in life not to degrade or target anyone for their religious beliefs, nationality, or who they choose to love. Hearing lies about others I find repulsive. A library, a school, or a government building is not a religious or private group. They are open to the public for all faiths, beliefs, and people. Books should never, and I repeat, books should never be banned. As a resident, I should choose the books I want to read. If it's offensive to me, I will take that book out, but others should be allowed to read it. Thank you for your time.
We didn't get his name.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, Taylor's going to get it, his name. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Betty Honkinen, and I'm the current president of the Democratic Women's Club in Citrus County. And I wanted to take this opportunity at the end of the year to say thank you to this library board. every library in Citrus County, all the librarians, all their staffs, as well as the leadership. Eric Head in the beginning when we first dealt with this group, and also Adam Chang now. You all do such a wonderful job, and we appreciate it very much. We've benefited from the use of the community room for our meetings, and it's been great. And the people that work there in a couple of the libraries that we've used are fabulous. In fact, the AV department deserves a big raise. They have allowed us, which has been amazing for our group, to use Zoom with their assistants and have speakers from anywhere we want. So we're able to get speakers from South Florida, and they don't have to drive up here. We can get them from Washington, D.C., and get people that we want to listen to and our members want to hear. So it's been very good for us, and we want you to know how much we appreciate you. And please accept our heartfelt thanks for all the work that you do for this community and all of its residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Anita Olbeck Tooker, and I'm just representing myself. The American Library Association was founded in the 1870s, I believe, by some of our founding fathers, whose mission was the greatest amount of books for the least amount of cost. And nothing has changed about that. And I'm stunned that this county has been so invaded by those who are from Port St. Lucie. What do they care what we're doing in our libraries here? But I'm stunned by nothing good comes from banning books, nothing at all. It's just the beginning of a dictatorship and a fascism and horrible, horrible things. And one of the comments that I read recently, and I apologize for not knowing the author, is instead of burning the witches, we should have feared those who burned them. So thank you very much for your time. And we need to stand up for people to have the right to read. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Oh, here comes somebody.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Nice
morning.
to see you. Beautiful day today, even if it's a little on the cool side. I just wanted to clarify a few comments. Somebody may have alluded that I'm from Port St. Lucie. I'm not. I live here in I've also moved to St. Johns County, so Saints, a lot of Saints going around. Great names for counties, by the way. So is Citrus. So I live here, been here for about 2 years. Gentleman made a blanket statement this morning from this podium that that books should never, ever be banned. And some of you might agree on this board, but I do believe that pornography should be banned from children. And I'm not saying that maybe that's what he wants or anyone on this board wants, but that was a blanket statement. I thought maybe it could use a little clarification. Thank you again for leading the way. That's 11 counties in the state now who have broken ties with the American Library Association. And yes, they did start a long time ago. I think it was 1888. Fabulous organization until they were taken over by Marxists. So,
Chair?
I
Excuse
love
me.
these guys.
Madam Chair?
Quiet down.
It's okay. I love them. Yeah, but it's true. They know it's true. They're Marxists too, I suppose. That's why they probably
Please
like
just
it.
address your
That's okay. I
comments.
mean, we're a free country. People can be what they are. But when we live in a county that has standards, I think that we should adhere to them. And I thank you. I thank this board for removing us from the ALA. And if they ever clean up their act, maybe we can join again.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak?
Do I need to register to do that?
Yes.
With whom?
Taylor's right here.
Oh,
She'll,
thank you, dear.
you
Oh,
can,
Thank you, okay.
yeah, just give us your name and,
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I just Want to say that I am Diane Stephan.
There you go. Thank
I
you.
live in Homosassa. I joined the Democratic Women's Club, and one of the first meetings, Sam Kimmel spoke. I'm new to Homosassa, and she had on board one of her associates. He is the director of all of the libraries in Citrus County. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, please, ladies. She was very proud to say that not one book, not one, has been taken off the shelves in Citrus County because it was age inappropriate. Every book, because of the library staff being diligent, doing their job, keeping books for 1st to 6th, that's how I went to school, 7 to 9, 12 to 11 to 12, whatever, 10 to 12, in the appropriate libraries. Not one book has been taken off the shelf in Citrus County because of the library staff, the school superintendent here in Citrus County. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak? Okay. All right. Well, we will close this portion of the agenda then. Thank you all for your comments very much. Let's see, special items. I'm not thinking that we have any really special items today. Just I would make a comment that that's wonderful that we can use our libraries to Zoom for everyone in the county to be able to take advantage of everything that the library has to offer. And we have a huge digital footprint as well now. So I'm glad everybody is starting to take advantage of that. So let's see, report of officers and standing work groups. Right now, we are waiting for some clarification. Adam, do you want to talk about that a little bit for the work group?
Sure, I can, or do you want that to be under H for new business?
Okay, we'll hang on to it until
Okay.
we go down there. That's fine. Okay, well then we'll go to you and you can do your director's report.
Okay, thank you. A couple things for the library's report. I just finished up the application for state aid. That was all submitted. It was due December 1st, so that's been sent off to the state. We'll hopefully hear back from that in the next couple months. You all in front of you have several items. One of them is this nice kind of graphic. This just highlights some of the things I've been talking about at most of our board meetings, just going over some of the different statistics that we've been capturing through the library this year. Circulation has increased, visitors to the library, digital circulation, new library cards. This just kind of puts it in a very nice kind of display so you can see all the wonderful things that the library is doing and moving forward. A couple other projects. We just started working with a group called Library Interiors, and they're helping us with a shelving project over at the Homosassa Library. We're going to be adding additional shelving to the Homosassa branch to allow us to place more books on the shelves and build the collection a little bit more. We're kind of running out of room in that branch in particular to be placing materials on the shelf. So we decided that we were going to go ahead and upgrade some of our shelving to give us more room to add another 1,500, maybe 2,000 books to that branch specifically. We hope to have that project complete early spring. It takes several months to get the materials ordered and manufactured to fit kind of the size that we need. But we're excited about that project, just a little kind of updating there. We do have an ongoing grant with the Department of Economic Opportunity. I haven't heard back from that yet, but I'm hoping early January we'll get the news on that one if we got the funding to be able to renovate the Coastal Region Library. So I'm very optimistic that one will come back early January with some very positive news, but I hope to bring that to you at the next board meeting. Also, in regards to renovation, We're working to renovate the Lakes Region Library. We're making some steps forward. It's taken a little bit longer than I thought it would. That was just my lack of experience in that area, I guess, and not realizing how many forms need to be filled out and the length of time it takes to get a contractor or vendor to come on site and start. So we do have some things lined up for after the holidays, early January to mid-January, to get some of those things started. Our study rooms will be built, meeting space, and those sorts of things. Painting and carpet will come a little bit later. But we're behind schedule on that, but my timeline was very optimistic. I was thinking we'd be done by February, and the majority of the work has not started yet. So we're probably looking at the beginning of summer, probably before we have everything completed. But it's been a good learning experience, and hopefully that will carry over to when we start doing the coastal region renovation. I'll have a lot more experience to work through that. You also should have a memo that we have all the dates for the upcoming Library Advisory Board meeting in front of you as well, just to give everyone a reminder that's next year's schedule to attend these meetings and just be aware of them. And then one other thing to mention before I get into a staffing update. The application for Library Advisory Board has opened. It's going to close on December 29th. So anyone who's interested in applying, or if you're interested in reappointment, that is open until the 29th. And then as far as staffing, you should have a new organization chart in front of you as well. That's our most current staffing. And we have a couple positions that are listed on there that show vacant, but those positions have actually been filled. We're just waiting for that person to come on board and start. So we list them as vacant before their official start date. But we do have all those positions filled. We're very excited that we have Lydia. Most of you met her. She's our new administrative assistant.
Hello.
So she'll be with us at our advisory board meetings, and you'll see her in the admin office. A couple other positions that we're excited about that we've recently got on board was our custodial positions. We did get those approved at the our final kind of budget meeting, and we have hired 3 custodial staff, and they're doing a wonderful job helping us keep our buildings clean and in order, and giving us great kind of input on the best practices to help keep everything running. So we're excited to have them on board as well. All right, and I think that is it for my updates.
Oh, that was very good. Thank you. I like the recap of the year, everything that's going on so far. That's kind of amazing when you look at programs attendance and from where we came during COVID, which was nothing, to climb back after that. The amount of volunteer hours is amazing. Library visits, I mean, everything is really great. And the fact that you're actually making more space in Homosassa for more books, because you keep hearing that they're obsolete. Nobody's doing it. I mean, what you hear versus what actually we have recorded is 2 different things. So that's really a good sign. And especially now, since our county is growing so quickly, the needed expansion and update is you're probably doing this all right at the correct time for what's going on in our county. Okay, let's see what else. So thank you, Adam. Let's do our region manager. See what's going on at the library.
Good morning.
Morning.
I want to share some great things that the library is doing. First off, the youth librarians would like me to invite you and your kids and your grandkids and your parents and anyone who wants to come to the New Year's Eve celebration that's happening December 30th, which is a Saturday, at the Central Ridge Library and the Homosassa Library. They ring in the new year, celebrating 2024 at noon with family-friendly toast, some games, and some fun. And it's a lot of fun to watch. So if you can make it, bring the family along. Also, the youth librarians have been busy starting to plan already for next year's summer reading program that will be here in June quickly before we know it. And then I brought a little show and tell. Our literacy librarian, Amber Poole, is an ex-teacher. She still says she's a teacher at heart. she teaches the citizenship classes, but so do the tutors that we have. And what's happening is we get tutors in, and then we kind of say, here you go, teach this 6-week class. So she came up with this literacy toolkit. There are 6 of them because there's a 6-week course for citizenship, which starts in February. And inside, she has a manual, and everything is in the manual. So really anybody off the street could come in and they could take the manual and teach the class everything in here you possibly want to know. She gives everyone a copy of the Constitution of the United States, a dictionary. She hangs a flag in the classroom. One of the things that she said to me that I never thought about is, you would be surprised how many people have never touched an American flag. Of course, there's the Statue of Liberty. And then a couple posters of the United States and the presidents and some common words that we use here in America. So she's going to be doing some more of these kits going forward, but I think this is exciting. And if you know, again, of anybody that would like to be a tutor, send them our way.
Where do you have the classes? Where are they held?
The classes this time will be at Homosassa. Sometimes they're at Central Ridge. If there's a need at another branch and someone would like the classes to be there, just need to let us know so we can let her know. Because Homosassa is her home base. That's why she does them there. But she's willing to go anywhere.
And so the goal of these classes, tell us what
Yes.
it is.
The goal of the classes is to help people get their citizenship. So after the 6-week class, they are prepared to take their test. And once they get their test, they become citizens. And in the past year, we've had 3 people become citizens, and they still show up. They come into the library and they attend the everyday English classes so they can further learn how to speak and feel more comfortable here in the United States. But the citizenship, it's been going on for years. We do see more and more people that are interested, people from all different backgrounds, people of all different nationalities, different speakers. We have Spanish, we have Russian, we even have Korean. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Welcome.
Great work.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Of course, the month of December is always a time of cheer and decorations and cookies and fun at the library. Most of our branches have already had their holiday celebrations. Central Ridge had theirs at the end of November, and then, of course, we had the Floral City Heritage Night with working with the fish fry and the museum, and they had the horse carriage rides. And then the Homosassa's was a week ago. So we only have one left, and that is Night with the Grinch. The Grinch Missed Christmas at Coastal Region, and the Grinch will be there. But I do want to say that all of our branches had a very special visit from Santa Claus this year, and it was amazing. So that is the holiday stuff that's been going on. And what we have upcoming at the branches is AARP tax season. And for those of you that don't know, AARP trains and gets us volunteers in all branches. And they have one day a week usually where citizens can make appointments and get their taxes done for free. So it's a great service. It really makes our libraries busy. You will see it on the calendar probably at the beginning of next week that it'll be on there. But the appointments will be opened up on January 2nd. So, if the staff seem a little hairy that day and crazy that day, the phones ring nonstop with people making appointments and the patrons coming in to make appointments. It's probably one of our busiest days at the circulation desk because it's constant. So we look forward to partnering with AARP again and serving the community so they can get their taxes done for free. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. A lot going on. Okay, and next would be our library public relations update, and that would be Taylor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I forget how much taller I am than Debbie and Renee until I come up here and stand at the mic.
When you get there.
And it's not there. Shh, it's fine, Debbie. All right, so as was previously mentioned, yesterday we officially launched what we are calling Aspen Discovery. It is an overlay on our catalog to allow the patrons and any of our users to be able to easily search through all of our materials that are available. And so if you have the catalog previously bookmarked on your computers, don't worry. That is the same link that you would have been using before. We switched everything over yesterday morning. We came in bright and early to get that taken care of before staff came in so that everything would be prepared. But it is a fantastic product. Our digital services librarian, Vicky, was hard at work for the last couple of months getting that put together and ready. And so we have already heard from our partners who kind of run the technology side of it on the back end, Bywater, and they have said that they love the look of our catalog. They think it is fantastic, and they cannot wait to showcase it to other partners that are getting ready to join and use Aspen as well. So it is a program that is used by libraries across the country, and we are just thrilled to make things a bit easier for our patrons as they search and they look through our catalog. All right. Next, if you follow us on social media, you will see that this year we have started something new. It is called Seasons Readings, and we have been doing daily giveaways of popular titles from the last year and a couple that are a little bit older, but mostly 2023 titles. These books I snagged from some of our friends of the library donations, picked up on half off days during book sales. And so we have 15 titles that are being given away in total. We started last Monday, and next Monday will be the last giveaway that we do. So it has been very popular so far. People are really enjoying it. And I think they're kind of surprised to be getting a book given to them from the library because that's normally not what we do. So it has been a nice surprise, and we've heard just fantastic things from patrons and our social media followers so far. So if you would like to share that out to any of your friends on social media, we would appreciate it. Okay. And then also premiering December 1st, we started our Adult Winter Reading Challenge. And so for the first time in quite a few years, we are doing a winter reading challenge just for 18 and up users, and that is all run through Beanstack. You have a little flyer there for it, and we have 4 book bundles to give away, books that were also snagged from donations and things from the friends of the library. So there is a cart that I probably permanently borrowed from the branch that is in my office that is just filled with books that are currently being used as giveaways. And so there's 4 different bundles. As I said, there's 3 books in each bundle. And if you read 600 minutes and log that through the Beanstack app, any of those participants will earn 10 tickets to put into the basket of their choosing. So there's a John Sanford basket with some of his most recent titles. We have a thrillers basket because we know our patrons love a thrilling title and read there. We have some murder mysteries and then some bestsellers. And so those 4 baskets will be making their ways to the branches soon so that people will have a chance to see what is in them and kind of incentivize them to read. As of yesterday afternoon, we had 43 people registered to participate, which is a great number for a first-time program for us. So we know as we continue to kind of promote it and push it out there, it will grow. I did 1 Facebook post last week, and in that day, our participation doubled. So it was already very well received by the public. And then a quick update on our 1,000 Books program. So that is something that I talked about at our last meeting. The 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program, as I had said, is a program that is run by libraries across the country. And so we launched that a few months ago. As of yesterday, we had 63 kiddos who are registered within the Beanstack app. And more than 12 of them have already read more than 100 books. One of them is very close to 400. This sweet little one, his name is D'Artagnan. He was actually our first one to make it to 100. And he attends story time with his mom and his little sister at our Central Ridge branch. And so I had been closely watching the statistics to see who was going to be our first little one to make it to 100. I was thrilled that it was a Central Ridge patron so that I could quickly sneak out and talk to our staff and see if they knew him. They did. They were all quick to say that D'Artagnan is a regular visitor to our libraries and he loves to check out books with his mom. Mom was there at story time that day, gave us the go ahead to take some pictures of him. So you will have seen his sweet little face on a couple of different posts and in the newspaper the other day for being our first one. And while I was speaking with him, he was very quick to tell me exactly how he logs his reading on Beanstack. And he opens the app and he picks the book and he presses the buttons. And I was like, well, just tell D'Artagnan he's hired because he's my new promoter for Beanstack. And then he proceeded to read to his little sister. So at 4 years old, he was sitting there reading a book to his sister, and Mom just had the most amazing things to say about our libraries and how much she appreciates that we are here and available to her family. And so that was just kind of our little warm and fuzzy for the morning that day. And as I said, our staff just have nothing but great things to say about that family and so many of our families who are regulars in our libraries, because when we have those families that are in all of the time, we get to know them and we know those kiddos and they get to know our staff, and it really is just such a fantastic part about what we get to do on the daily in our branches. So I just thought you all would appreciate that happy little heartwarming tidbit. At the end of November, we received for the third year in a row a donation from Toys for Tots. And so there, as you all have probably seen around our community in the last few weeks, there have been Toys for Tots donations that are being run through various organizations and entities. And so Paul Pilney, who is the main contact for our county, has another contact through Toys for Tots, and they donate books. And so the last 3 years, we have received book donations. And this year, we received more than 800 books that were given through the Toys for Tots organization. A few years back, when we first started working with Paul, he said, I could find a place to put these books, but you all at the library know the organizations and the entities who need books to be able to give to their families. And so we kind of work as the middleman with Toys for Tots to get those books out into the hands of our other entities in the county. And so later this week, we will be working with the Family Resource Center in Hernando to get books to them. They have received books the last couple of years and will again this year. And then Carter Street Head Start in Inverness. And so a few months back, they had put some notices out in the newspaper and online that they were looking for books to give to their families and to their kids who are coming into their program. And so we reached out to them. They were over the moon at the prospect of getting some books. And so we are just excited to be able to kind of help with that little process to get some books into the hands of kids and families who really need them at the holidays. And then your favorite part of every few meetings, book displays. You have a lovely little packet with you. It should be at the very bottom because I knew this would be kind of the last thing we covered. Recently, we met with staff and we reviewed our January, February, and March book displays for next year. It felt very odd to be typing 2024 in the top of these documents for you. And I was like, this is going to take quite a bit of time to get used to. So forgive me now if you see 23 going into next year. But just some highlights for each of the months. In January, our volunteer coordinators put up book displays that kind of showcase books that were purchased in honor of our volunteers. And so we have almost 300 volunteers who work with our libraries regularly. And each year we tag and label books as in your honor books to kind of thank our volunteers for the work that they do in our libraries. And so our volunteer coordinators work very hard to pick titles and subjects that relate back to that volunteer. So if we know a volunteer enjoys gardening and our acquisitions manager is purchasing a slew of gardening books, they will say, hey, let's tag one of these gardening books as the in your honor for that particular volunteer. So we try to really personalize those choices. And so a lot of those titles will be on display at our branches in January. And then because it's the new year, obviously, there's going to be all of the New Year's resolutions books. So eating healthy and getting organized and exercising book displays. So if you see those around the branches and you feel the need to bypass them because you don't want to think about your resolution, that's fine. No judgment from us. All right. In February, we do focus a lot on Black History Month. And so you will see book displays throughout the branches that have that focus. And then what library would we be if we did not have Valentine's Day, romancy, rom-com book displays here, there, and everywhere? So those will be available as well. And then in March, we will see book displays on Women's History Month, and then just some general springtime gardening, happy books as we leave, hopefully, whatever this chilly weather situation is that we're experiencing today. So that, I believe, covers your book display titles. Does anybody have questions? I know I go very quickly. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Good. No questions today? I did good. All right, enjoy.
Thank you, Taylor. Well, we enjoyed your tidbits. They were good. Tax season is a crazy time, and the citizenship program seems like you've really bumped that up a notch, and that's great. I really like that. The fact that you give them the Constitution and the flag idea is wonderful. The whole thing's terrific. Okay, so old business. I don't really think we have anything going on. New business. Adam.
Okay. So the only thing in our new business was the section about fundraising. For about 10 years prior to COVID, the library had done their big Love Your Library fundraiser. And there's some talk about kind of bringing some version of that back to get us back on track with fundraising and help for some of these large-scale kind of capital improvement projects that we're starting to look at and work through. I am still working on clarification on the best path to move that forward, to make sure that everything is updated and that we're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing in the correct order. So I don't really have much of an update as far as what that looks like yet, but I do hope to have more for the next meeting.
Okay, thanks. And then at that time, we'll be able to make a date where we can actually start getting our working group together.
Yes, I just want further kind of clarification on the protocols of that, since we have had, it was done for the previous 10 years, but then we had a couple years break. I want to make sure that we're, everything is
Back on
updated
track.
and we're not missing anything.
Right, back on track. Okay, good idea. Thank you. And so, and to do that, you're actually talking to the county to get the clarification?
Yes, I'm working with the county's legal department to make sure I get all the necessary information.
Okay, thank you. Okay, board member updates. So we'll start with Elaine. We'll start at this side.
No updates, thank you.
Thanks, Elaine. Marie Elaine.
I would like to really commend Taylor. She came through last board meeting when I mentioned that I had been the editor of the publication for Sugar Mill Woods that the Chronicle puts out. the Greenbelt Gazette. And I was no longer editor, but I still wrote 2 articles a month. And I suggested, because there's a pretty big audience in Sugar Mill, that Taylor provide an article. And I wanted her to do a monthly column. She did, and it was great. And I think the handout must have fallen out somewhere along the line, Adam. So Adam, I'm hoping, will you email everyone?
Yes.
Because I had sent a copy of the article. And that's really good because we have our own branch in Homosassa. And I'm sure there are, many people who do patronize the library. But more publicity doesn't hurt. So Taylor, this will be an ongoing thing. And I appreciate her efforts. Thank you.
It's great. Great news. Thanks. Ken?
No comments.
Well, how was your book sale?
We did very well, actually. Our net was about $6,800, which was our best in at least
Great.
15 years or so.
Terrific. We love that. I'll go at the end.
Merry
Think of
Christmas, everybody. Can I say that now?
Yes, you can.
I have no updates either.
No updates, but Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
You too, thank you.
Justin?
I'd like to say I was not here last meeting. My apologies. But welcome, Ms. Evitz. Thank you so much for joining us on this board, and I look forward to working with you. And Merry Christmas to everyone, and Happy New Year.
Thanks, Justin. Shavana?
No updates for me, thank you.
Okay. So the update that I would tell you about was the other book sale, the Focals book sale. They did great. It was about $32,000 for 4 days, which is amazing. They had a new location, and nervous as all about this location. Oh my gosh, the location. Are people going to like the location? They love the location. It was a huge success, and they work really hard for 6 months, have the book sale, and then they start again for another 6 months. And they run that book sale like a well-oiled machine. So I invite everyone to come to the book sale, volunteer at the book sale. You have to see it to believe it. It's just an amazing thing. So all that money goes to each of their friends groups, and then they decide where it goes. Most of it goes back to the library for collections. They use it for the books and things. And as Taylor said, they'll put a little book plate in the front in honor of the donations. A lot of the money, there's Christmas trees right now in most of the library foyers, and the money for that came from the friends groups raised at the book sales. So they also have a members newsletter for the members that belong to their friends groups, and they have meetings. We've seen some of you out here at some of our meetings, and all the friends groups appreciate everything that they have a great rapport with the library and the staff, and they get a lot of support. It's a sort of a two-handed thing. And so that's what Adam was alluding to as far as this group getting back to the fundraising. This is a working board. We just don't come once a month. We just have been doing it during COVID, obviously, right after. But once he gets clarification on how we can go forward, we will move forward and work on replacing some of the funds that we just allocated to Lakes Region. And then the next library after that will be Coastal. So those funds can't be depleted. We have to try to put that back in, and that's what will be our next project. So that's a work in progress. And I just want to thank everybody on the board for showing up real early and getting through the Citrus County traffic jams. I appreciate it very much, and hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and Happy New Year. One other item. The meeting in February was scheduled for the 27th. And I had talked with Adam and asked if we could maybe change it to the week prior to the 20th. Does anyone, we're going to check and see if we can get the room but I wanted to get the consensus. Anybody have any issues, problems that we could probably do that? Okay, we'll look into that and you'll get an email on that. And that, so the February 27th may be changed to the 20th, the week prior. Okay, all right. Anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you very much.